we are at Kentucky Dragway. Got Willis with me. Got his Mons back there. I got the Camaro. Camaro's turned all the way down, 3,200 RPM launch. It'll only make about 3 pounds of boost. Just so y'all know on that thing. On motor, it runs 12.2 to 12.6, depending on what the weather was. And on 3 pounds of boost, it'll run like 1180, 1190. And then turned all the way up, it'll run, I think it ran a 960, but I had some intake air temperature sensor, or intake air temp sensor, I keep saying sensor. Intake air temp problems. It got way too hot at the end of the quarter. I think if I fix that, we're going to order a bigger intercooler for it, and I'm going to run a cold air, the turbo's right behind the radiator. I'm going to run a cold air intake off the turbo under the car somewhere. That should fix that. And yeah, turned all the way up, it'll run I think it'll run a 950. 950, 940 maybe. But I think that's all it's got in it. Which ain't bad. It's a Gen 3 5.3. Gen 3 completely with stock heads and everything. The only thing I changed on it was I gapped the rings and I put a LS1 intake, because you can't, I would have used the truck intake's better. I would have used the truck intake, but it won't fit under the cowl. And Willis is building one just like it, except for it's in a coupe. So it should be lighter, plus he's 100 pounds lighter than me. Hopefully it'll run 11.9. Plus he's got the sloppy stage 2 cam. I got the BTR turbo stage 2 cam. And his cam's actually bigger in duration, but it's small, a little bit smaller on lift. So duration lift's where you get your power, but I think duration gives you more power than lift, in my opinion. But yeah, turned all the way down, probably make 3 pounds of boost, 3,200 RPM launch. We'll do some bracket racing. We'll try to get some videos of Willis too, because he's always out here winning. That man has more trophies than he can count. Have you ever counted them, Willis?
No, they're all over. That spare bedroom, you can't hardly go in there for the trophies.
He does the trophy class, and he's got a ton of trophies. Ton. There ain't a lot of people here today. There's a bunch of big races going on around us, and people probably afraid of the weather, because it looks like it's going to rain, and it's supposed to rain come about 5 o'clock, and it's 2 o'clock now, so we'll see. All right, here we are, test pass number 1. Get you a time slip right here in a minute. There's a lot of water in the air, but it ran terrible. 808 at 88, that ain't right. He broke or something. That ain't right. I don't know why it ran so slow. Huh, I don't know. There's a lot of water in there. Everybody's running slower, but God almighty. We lost a half a second somehow. See why. It's got about 6 degrees of timing out of it from where we had it last time. I was in there messing with, I forgot to load the bracket race tune. Most it made was 3.5 pounds of boost, so I put the timing in those cells all at 25, so that'll be perfect. Now we'll see what it does. I'm going to turn the launch RPM up to 3,400, because we cut a 0.073 light. This will make more power, help us launch faster, and then 3,400 RPM. Our rollout will be shorter, so we'll stay on the tree where we left at, just make the car take off faster so it has less rollout to make that light better. All right, here we go. We up the launch RPM 200 RPM, 3,200 to 3,400. I don't know if y'all noticed it or not in the log, but it was 10.5 AFR. So I took about 10% fuel out, and then we put the timing 25 degrees straight across the board. So it should run like a 7.3, 7.4 now. We'll see. Yeah, I didn't like that 19 degrees timing at 3 pounds of boost. Didn't like that at all. Before, if y'all watched the bracket race video from before, we had a 25 degrees timing, 11.5 AFR, 3,200 RPM launch, and it ran a 7.5. There we go, much better. 758 like it was last time, and we cut us a good light. Oh, made it launch harder, you know, putting the timing in it and taking out fuel, adding timing, and upping the launch RPM. See, when I took off the same spot on the tree and got us an 034, that's good. He cut it down over here, around a 658. Maybe we're gonna put some pressure in the tires, and we're gonna dial in I think it'll go faster. Maybe we'll dial in a 657. I think it'll go faster. We'll see. Here's the log. 25 degrees. Here's where we're on the trans brake. It takes it about 1.5 seconds to build full boost. See, that's full boost. So it's building full boost as the tree drops, which is perfect. And then stays at 25 the whole way. And again, see, last time I had the I didn't have it set on 3-bar up here, so it didn't read the boost right. But yeah, look, it's reading the boost right now. It gets, the highest it gets is like 3.5 pounds of boost. But the AFRs are a little, I don't know how much I trust this wideband, because if I try to put the idle at 14.7 and cruise at like 13.8, it starts surging real bad. I've got to put it at high 12s, low 13s for the car even wants to run right. I don't know. But yeah, we'll leave it where it's at and do some bracket racing. Dial in a 757. And look, it's sprinkling. I don't know if y'all can see that or not on the window. Dang it. All right, going from 34.5 to 40 PSI on the front tires to lower that rollout to get that reaction time quicker. All right, there we go. Y'all can't see that, can you? I think there's about 12 cars. But yeah, can't see it, can you? 757, yeah, you can see it. So we're gonna dial in first round. Wish me luck. There's 2 rounds of buybacks, so I counted. There's 10 cars. 10 cars. First round in the books. Can you say chopping down the tree? Yes, yes. I let off of it because I had him covered. I had my mirror, my electric mirror still worked. So I had the mirror pushed out really far so I could see him. And he was way back there, so I basically let off way out. So he broke out trying to catch me because he cut a terrible lap. So your time don't start until you take off. So he gave me a .274 head start. So I could have ran anywhere between 274 over my time and still beat him, which would have been a 771. I don't know. I can't do math right off the top of my head. 2, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 784. Yeah, 784 and some change. 784.4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 7.844. I could have ran and still beat him. But yeah, in the books, first round. All right. There's 2 rounds of buyback, so these don't really matter. It just cost you $30 extra to get back in the race. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I like that reaction time. I'm gonna compare these 2 numbers with our other time slips, because we can't go off this because we let off early. We need to go off this number, especially 4.9, to see if the car went any faster. All right, so this was this run, this was the other run. We went a little slower. We went a 0.02 slower. I'm gonna change it to a 58. So that reaction time I had, 0.004, the guy, he didn't buy back. That's a buddy of mine, by the way, but that left 9 cars. So there's an odd count. So the person with the quickest reaction time gets a buy. So I won the buy with that 0.004. So now I get a test pass. All right, I red lighted. Getting the red light out of the way. I barely red light. Well, get that out of the way. But look, the car's still running pretty consistent. 750, well, 758, 759. Then that one time we let off of it. But we gotta wait till that third yellow comes all the way on before we take off. I was trying to get a better reaction time, and I wound up red lighting. But hopefully that gets our red lights out of the way and we can go from there. And everybody up there knows I got the bias, so they know I'm cutting good lights. And well, no, I'm the slower car. That's the bad thing about it, man. When you're the slower car, they see if you cut a good light or if you red light. You know what I mean? But I don't know. There's 5 cars left, no buybacks. This is when it gets real. Wow. 7 cars left. I guess a few decided not to buy back in. It's still going to take 4 rounds to win it. But I'm up against this lady in this truck, and she's wouldn't focus there for a minute, but she's really good, so we'll see. So stupid me, we ran a 759. And the reason we ran a 759 and we ran 758 the other time is because I did a harder burnout. Well, this time I did a less burnout, thinking, well, that'll get us back to 758. No, it made us run a 754. She got me on the tree, not by a lot, but she pushed me, and then she dumped me. I was going to do her the same way. I was going to push, and then just dump. And that's what I should have done, but I stayed in it. I took the line, I took the stripe, see, first. I took the stripe, but she pushed me to the stripe, and then she just dumped me. Because she knew, she's a good racer. She knew she was about to break. Well, she did break out. I just broke out by more. She broke out by 556, so 014. I broke out by, oh my God, 040. But yeah, just trial and error, guys. I can't believe it picked up 5 numbers. And see the burnout. If you do a lighter burnout and your car hooks, you go faster. If you don't do a burnout at all and your car hooks, that's when you're going to run the faster time, because when you do a good burnout, it heats up the tires and makes them more sticky. The stickier they are, the more traction you get, but they're sticking all the way down the track to the rubber and the glue, and it slows you down. So rookie mistake. I should have kept my burnout the same. Number 1. Number 2, I knew I felt it. I knew I was going to break out, and by her pushing and dumping, I knew I was going to break out. Well, when she dumped me, I still had time to hit the brakes. But live and learn, and we'll try again. Whatever chance we get, we're going to leave this thing on low boost and try this bracket racing more and more. If I do the burnout consistent, it's deadly consistent. But I gotta do that burnout the same every time. That's what got me right there, right off the bat. But yeah, and then fall comes around, I'm gonna order an intercooler. If you guys watched my fastest pass, it run a 610 in the 8th, a 960 in the quarter. But I've ran faster than that when the boost top fell off in like the 450 mark in the 8th. So what happened was I forgot I had the launch RPM turned down, that 960 pass. I had the launch RPM turned down and forgot to turn it back up. So that's why it didn't run. It could have ran a 5s and it could have ran a 940, 950. But the last time we did that, the intake air temps were through the roof, 210 degrees. We'll get a bigger intercooler, and then I'm going to plumb the turbos right behind the radiator. So I'm going to plumb a 4-inch pipe, the same size as the inlet on the turbo. I'm going to plumb that down below the car and with a velocity stack. See if we can't get those in check. And the converter, it was blowing clean through the converter. I was only getting like 200 RPM drop on the shifts. We'll tighten up the converter and we'll see if we can't get this thing in the low 9s come fall. 4 cars left and modified. Those 2 up there right now, the green truck and the blue truck, which is TJ. See who gets this one. She changed her dial in. She was at a 57. The one I raced, the one up in the left lane. She was at a 57 but broke out on the brakes at a 55. Maybe she didn't trim. She actually went first. 53 to a 33, 653. 6:33, so she would have took off first. Let's see how TJ does. In the finals, and then Willis is in the finals. He does sportsman and trophy. I think he's in the finals of a sportsman. And then Brian back here, he's in the finals of trophy, or it's either or. They're both in the finals. One's in the finals in sportsman, one's in the finals in trophy. I think next time I've been doing second, third burnouts. Turf the gears in second and breaks the sprag. So I start out in second and then I go to third, but you know, it turned down low. I think just a small first gear burnout, it'll hook. So that next time we do bracket racing, we're going to try that. We're going to do a small, like I'll do a first gear burnout and I'm going to count like 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000. Keep it the same every time, because that burnout, I mean, it's possible she could have hit the brakes and not broke out and this, that, and the other, because she did get me on the tree by a little. But if I hadn't have changed my burnout and ran the same time, it would have been a lot better race. Brian going up for the finals in sportsman, right? Yep. And Willis here in the finals in trophy. It's not the final?
No, there's like 4 or 5 cars left.
Whoops. There's 4 or 5 cars left. And then TJ, we usually hang out with TJ down there, but he got a few more people at park with him down there. But they made it to the finals. They're in the finals. Brian, there's 3 cars. 3 cars left. Brian on the left. Oh, he lost. Final for trophy. Quarter mile. It's only quarter mile class. Willis in your left hand lane. Looks like he's going to get it. Lost the lane. He lost. Finals for modified in your right hand lane, Travis. Left hand lane, TJ. Travis with the win. Well, there you have it, guys. TJ gets runner up. Willis gets runner up. And yeah, hopefully I can start getting in there with them and do a little bracket racing.